Hello, hello. I am here with Shannon, who is finishing up the 90-day program with me. Super excited for her to tell you about everything, all the results and everything. So Shannon, first question is, what were some obstacles or challenges that you were encountering before you started the program?
So I'm turning 50 this year. I had a hysterectomy 2011, and so I was dealing with, not knowing it, hormone issues. And so I had just in the last year and a half had really just been gaining excessive weight, had a lot of joint pain, just brain fog, a lot of lethargy, and I thought it was just adrenal fatigue, not realizing it was possibly also my hormones. Um, I did start hormone replacement therapy a few months before we did this. But with any hormone program, you also gain more weight. So I gained more weight, but I knew that was going to be a part of that experience. And so I needed a program, which this one turned out to be perfect for, that could just help me address my hormonal needs, my aging needs, and everything that was just changing in my body that none of my previous go-to practices seemed to be supporting anymore. And there literally was a time in the last 6 months where I just cried and just said, I feel like my body's giving up on me. And I just feel like all the hard work I had put into my body to be healthy and strong, previous years was just falling apart. And I wasn't going to give up, but I just kind of felt doomed.
Yeah. Yeah, and it unfortunately a lot of people struggle with that too. Everything that they've done before doesn't work, especially for women, of course, as we age. So, yeah. So how did the program help you?
Um, well, I joke frequently, as I told you, that I'm very serious. I legitimately do have OCD, and my need to organize and plan and all of that is just dominates everything I do. That hypervigilance just dominates everything. And so the way this program was set up took all that power and control away from me. And it required me to just chill out and have some faith and have some trust. And I think because my years of kickboxing and other fitness, we live by the trust the process is the go-to. And so I just kept saying, trust the process. I told my girls who did this with me, we trust the process, right? There's no promise of an outcome if it hadn't received results before. So we're going to do this process and trust that we're going to get that same outcome. And we did. We did. We all did. And then some, like even
Yeah.
more than promised. But um I I realized it made me a happier person because that need to be hyper vigilant can really kind of debilitate my joy, and somebody else like you taking that away from me. And it just made me just kind of like go with the flow and just be like more accepting that I don't know what's about to happen next. And it was all okay. There was nothing I had to worry about. And so and nothing was as dramatic or extreme as I thought it was gonna be, because it was slowly built up over time. So by the time we were getting into some of the more extreme changes, it was just one thing I had to do that week because I had already done the other things.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, that's nicely put. I love that. So what were some of your results on and off the scale?
Okay, so lost 4 points of visceral fat. So that was a really, really big one. Lost at least 22 pounds, if not more. I know we talked about how I'd gained a little bit within the few days. So between 22 and 25 pounds lost. Um, I my tongue, my acupuncturist was very proud of that, or would have been very proud of that. Um, so but it's clean, it's clear. I don't have white film showing mucus buildup and bacterial buildup. My skin,
Mhm.
my I'm turning 50, y'all. And you could see in my before shots, I looked like I was turning 50. Right now, I don't think I do. I'm
No.
pretty happy about that. And that's the hydration. I increased my water intake by at least 4%, I believe it was. And that's a hard one. I think that's been the hardest one for me my entire life is getting my hydration solid. And so, but I know it is, my skin can feel it, my, wrinkles can feel it, my energy can feel it, my sleep can feel it. Like hydration is probably one of the most critical things. I struggle with sleep issues, but I haven't struggled with sleep issues since doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've slept really good. And although my fiance once would say that the snoring, that would have been a nice benefit. That snoring had gone away. But yeah, no, but I'm getting quality sleep now. Like I can feel the difference. I just wake up naturally now. Really, I don't even set an alarm anymore, which is kind of
Awesome.
weird. I used to have to live by that alarm. But
Oh my gosh.
but
Yeah.
yeah, so I just my movement is better. Oh, here's the big ones. This one's a combination of the hormone therapy with the nutrition. Joint pain. I had frozen shoulder since last June and was doing like chiropractor massage. I still do the massage, but the amount of work that was having to be done to my body just so I could function and move. Like I couldn't even hold a coffee cup in my hand. I couldn't open like a baby gate. Like sometimes it hurt to like open my steering wheel. So it was almost like from a carpal tunnel to a frozen shoulder, like my entire right side. I had that same problem. I had like almost like a neuropathy in my knee and my leg and my hip, and all those pains are gone. And, I know some of it came from the hormone, but it seemed to just really like rapidly improve when I changed my digestive system. Other wins, TMI, personal. I've struggled with severe constipation and digestive issues like my entire life, and those I don't have any. Like I'm fine. The bloating, the everything, the discomfort. I don't have any of that right now. So yeah, I feel like I kind of told my girls, I'm like, I don't really want to live any other way, you know.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. No, thank you for sharing all of that because that's, yeah, yeah, I really appreciate that. You've had a wide array. I mean, and you've broken that cycle. Like you said, your sleep, you're actually getting good sleep that helps you repair and, regenerate those cells throughout the night. Um, and yeah, and then your energy is, feeling it, and that's just tying into everything else for sure. So, last question. What advice would you have for somebody that's on the fence maybe and doing something like this?
Um, Throw away any preconceived notions that you have about fitness, challenge, diet plans, things like that. I grew up in a household of parents who they did the Jenny Gregg, they did the Weight Watchers, they did the things, and then they had us kids do them too. I, when I was young and married and having babies, I did Body for Life. I did, a bunch of those things that were really trendy and had results. Um, but this became different for me and in my own health and fitness journey, learning more of the science of the body and how it works and recognizing where all those programs fail because they're not really utilizing science, they're using shortcuts. And wanting a body that works the way it's supposed to. And so I knew this system came from that. That was the foundation of what made me willing to do this. I'm also a science teacher and stuff, so I know enough about the body and that I could recognize immediately as we were going through the program and kind of the different things we were doing, the science behind the why. What's different for me is that even as a science person and a health nutrition person. Um, I was a health nutrition person up until last year when, we went through some life challenges, or a year and a half ago, and that's where everything went woo. But even with all that background and all that knowledge, you still are going to fail in little tiny ways in your life when you don't have a coach on your side, accountability in place, and guidance, right? These little pieces along the way. It's kind of like if you got the IKEA furniture and you're like, I built this thing a million times. I don't need to read those instructions. So you just got to do it on your own anyway. And you're kind of like, it's good enough, but it's not great, right? We treat our health that way. Even when we're super healthy nutrition people, that's okay,
Yeah.
But what we don't realize is how much of that, that's okay, is just stacking up against us. And so I became very, very aware through this program of how many of those little things were kind of getting in my way and just cleaning it up. Right. And this program just kind of really put that in place. I think what turned off other people I know that were wanting to do this was the 12 weeks, like the length of the program. I appreciate the length of the program now. I've done a million 6-week challenges and things like that, and they were all very, very effective, but they were not life changing. And I do believe 12 weeks is life changing because I feel amazing, and
Yeah.
I have all of these habits and routines that have been created over the last 2 weeks that it's not even, there's no thought into them anymore. How I make that meal in the morning, how I prepare my day, everything, to the glass of water I'm drinking before I go to bed.
Yeah.
It's like there's no reason for it to change.
Yeah. Ah, such good stuff. Love it. Love it. Love it. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
sharing. Thank you for being a part of all of this. I really appreciate you taking the time to be with me today.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Uh-huh.